In today's video, I will talk about the best Prebuilt gaming PCs overall for October in 2021. So we are going to go over from the cheapest to the most expensive Prebuilt PC, covering a lot of budgets, and if your budget is not on this video, don't worry because you will have more PCs down below in the description as well with these ones. But if it's not in the description of the video anyway, you can leave it in the comment section so I will help you. Now let's start. With the first PC we have our budget friendly HP PAVILION that I mentioned in a lot of videos, but that's because it's the best Prebuilt gaming PC in terms of price performance. I couldn't find a better PC at this price point yet. It has the i5 11400, so it's the latest i5, the GTX 1650 Super, which is great for 1080p gaming, 8GB of RAM and 256GB of SSD. My only recommendation for this PC is for you to customize and add 8GB of RAM and 1TB of hard drive if you can't afford SSD, but this is not necessary right now. You can do this later on when you have more money. To put you in perspective, this GTX 1650 Super alone is $450, and they are putting a whole gaming PC for $350 more, which I think is pretty great considering the type of PC that this one is. If you want to play competitive games, this one will be more than enough at more than 100 FPS average, depending on the settings in these competitive games. For high demanding video games like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, this one will perform good at 1080p at around 45 to 60 FPS on average in GTA 5 ultra settings and Red Dead Redemption 2 high settings. So if you have $800, I think this one is your best option so far, and I wouldn't go with any other gaming PC that is not this one if you have this budget. For the next budget, we have a $950 budget, and here we have the cyberpower PC Gaming Stream VR. This one has the i5 10400F, which is a little bit worse than the last one from the HP PAVILION, but you get the GTX 1660 Super, which is a big jump from the 1650 Super, and there is no game that you can't run at 1080p with this graphics card. 500GB of SSD, which is more storage, 8GB of RAM, which once again I would recommend upgrading. And it seems like it also comes with a mouse and a keyboard, but that's not really important. So like I said before, this GTX 1660 Super is great for 1080p gaming, and if you want to buy a 240Hz monitor, you can do this, since for a lot of competitive games you will be able to reach those 240 FPS on average. So I think this gaming PC is worth buying if you have the money to, but you should consider these upgrades later on when you get more money, like I said before. Also, in the description I will leave 3 different monitors for 3 different budgets in case you want to buy a new monitor and you don't know which one to buy. Another thing I like about this PC is the case, since it has good airflow because it has a front mesh panel. So that's something to keep in mind if you want good airflow. For a $1200 budget, we have this Skydeck Blaze 3.0 gaming PC. This one has the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, the GTX 1660 Super, which is the same as the cyberpower, 16GB of RAM, so here you don't have to upgrade the RAM, and 1TB of SSD, which is once again more storage. Now, would I recommend buying this PC if I have this budget? No. What I would do is save more money until the next one, or buy the cyberpower one and maybe buy a monitor or save your money, because you're spending $240 extra for these upgrades, and you get a Ryzen 5 3600, which is not bad, but it's not better than the i5 10400F, at least for gaming. So I wouldn't buy this gaming PC, but you can't go wrong with this one if you want to buy a gaming PC at $1200 and you can't go up and you don't want to go down to the cyberpower one. For a $1350 budget, we have this ABS Master Gaming PC, and here it gets a little bit interesting. I put it here because it's a great gaming PC. It has the i5 10400F, so not a new processor from the last ones, but it has the RTX 3060 Ti, and this graphics card, let me tell you, I think is one of the greatest right now. You can play 1440p, 1080p, more than 240 FPS average in a lot of games, and more than 60 FPS average in every game ultra settings. Here also you get ray tracing, which you don't get on the 1660 Super, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to try ray tracing. You get 16GB of RAM, so you don't need to upgrade anything, and 1TB of M.2 NVMe SSD. So do I recommend this gaming PC? Definitely yes, and it's on sale right now at the lowest price in 30 days, so if you want to buy it, I think the moment is right now. The only downside that I can see from these pictures is the airflow, since I don't see a front mesh panel, but aside that, I think this gaming PC is great. Now for a $1,500 budget, we have the Omen 25L. This one is a customized gaming PC, so you have to go to their website down below in the description, click on customize and buy, and change the settings that you see in the description. This one has the Ryzen 5 5600X, which is a huge improvement from the i5 10400 and the Ryzen 5 3600, so the CPU is way better. For the GPU, you have the RTX 3060 Ti, which is the same as the ABS Master one, but because you get a better CPU-GPU combo, you will be having better performance at games and also at editing and streaming. You get 1TB of hard drive, which is not SSD, but you still get a lot of storage, and you get 256 gigs of SSD where you can put your Windows on, and of course 16 gigs of RAM. So this gaming PC is the best one on the list so far, and if you have this type of budget, I would recommend buying it. For a $1,700 budget, you get the cyberpower Extreme VR gaming PC, which as you can see, it has the same case as the other one, but different components of course. It has the i5 11400F, so here we have a difference from the i5 10400F and the Ryzen 5 3600, and you get the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT, and if you don't know about this GPU, it's like a 3060 Ti, but it has more VRAM. While the 3060 Ti has 8 gigs of VRAM, this one has 12 gigs. What does this mean? Basically for 4K, this RX 6700 XT is slightly better. 16 gigs of RAM of course, 500 gigs of SSD, and 1TB of hard drive. So if you want a GPU that is slightly better than the 3060 Ti at gaming, and you want to buy a 4K monitor, this gaming PC is for you. And for the best one on the list, we have the Streaming Pro from NZXT. This one has the Ryzen 7 5800X, which is the best CPU so far on this list, the RTX 3070 Ti, which is the best GPU so far on the list, so you get the best GPU-CPU combo on the list. You get 32 gigs of RAM, so for editing and multitasking this will be huge, and 1TB of SSD. So this gaming PC is by far the best one on the list, and that's why it's number one. And if you have a budget above this number, don't worry, you will have more PCs like I said before for a budget above or below these gaming PCs. So that's it for today's video, and if you want a budget gaming PC, you have my last video about the best budget Prebuilt PCs of the month that you can watch by clicking on the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and if you like and enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, and I will see you on the next one.